Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, June 24th, and I'm your host, Kristen McDonald. It is great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. On Wednesday, a dangerous accident occurred at the intersection of Route 1 and Moore Street, where a tractor-trailer slammed into a Toyota Corolla at high speed. Chief Brooks released this statement.
On Wednesday at about 2:30, we received reports of a three-car crash at the intersection of Route 1 and Morse. But when our units arrived there, they only found one vehicle, a blue Toyota Corolla, which had been struck and sustained heavy damage. When we investigated and we came upon video footage fairly quickly where we were able to see a red car carrier coming down the hill, Route 1 northbound, that clearly went through the red light and struck the rear quarter panel of the Toyota and spun it around a couple of times in the intersection. Now, we couldn't see markings on the side of the truck. It appeared that the truck left the scene. In fact, it was not there when our units arrived. We saw other footage shortly thereafter that showed the vehicle continuing from the area. So we took the video, put it out on Twitter very quickly, asking for the public's help. But the driver did return to the scene. It appears he went out to Route 95, took 95 southbound, got back on Route 1 northbound, and made his way back. He told the officers that he was unfamiliar with the area, and that's why he took the route that he did to get back. What you can see is his car carrier coming down the hill at Route 1 northbound at Morse. And you can see a couple of vehicles begin to come out of Moore Street from the industrial side, if you will, coming out westbound. And as they do, one of the lanes of traffic on Route 1 northbound comes to a stop. The car carrier just comes straight through, hits the rear quarter panel, and spins the car around. You know, had it been another quarter of a second, if that car was just a little bit slower getting into the intersection, then the vehicle would have been hit broadside, and I think would have a very serious situation. As it is, the truck driver was not injured, and the driver of the car, although transported to the hospital, does not appear to have life-threatening injuries. And I think the lesson here is not only obviously pay attention to traffic lights, and we want everybody to stop for red lights, but as importantly, if you've got the green light, it does not mean that it's safe to go. And I'm not casting any aspersions at all on the driver of the sedan, of the Toyota, not at all. But just because your light is green does not mean it's safe. It could be the traffic is coming that's going to run that light. And you do have to be very, very cautious, not only in Norwood, but really anywhere where your light suddenly turns green. You really do have to look around. The crash was investigated by Officer Mazzola, who's one of our motor officers, and he has cited the driver of the car carrier, who's a 44-year-old man from Revere, and he's been cited for running the red light. We have not cited him for leaving the scene because, as I said, he came back on his own.
Luckily, no serious injuries were reported. Always be careful when entering a busy intersection and use caution wherever you can. With gas prices at an all-time high, Norwood News spoke with a local gas station owner who explained how gas prices affect his business and why high gas prices don't just hurt the consumer.
So, as of right now, the geopolitical environment has made gas prices, oil prices really go up. And what that does is it makes refiners and drillers very profitable because there's no added cost to their drills in the ground or their labor to run those drills, and not too many variable costs like power. So they're selling that barrel of oil at double what they were selling it a year ago, which it leads to a huge profit. For the gas station owner, it's really unfortunate because we normally like to make around 20 to 25 cents a gallon. And in this environment, we're making far less than that. There's a variety of factors. One of the factors is that credit card fees really erode the profit. Fees are based on a percentage. So if you take 3% on $2, that's a 6-cent fee to the credit card companies. Yet if you all of a sudden go double that to $4, even $5, you're now looking at 15 cents going to the credit card companies. So that's a huge erosion of profit. Us being a low profit margin station where we don't take as much of the margin as other stations, we're seeing our volumes go up a little bit because people are shopping for gas now. Before, when it was $1.95, $2 2 years ago, there was less shopping involved. Now there's a lot of shopping, but they're trying. They're trying to. I don't call it the federal government, call it the markets. we don't really love high gas prices, but our hope is that they come down. The futures market dictates our prices and supply and demand. Right now, we're in a high demand because we're coming out of COVID. We're in a low supply due to the Russian gas embargo / sanctions. And lastly, our administration is not really behind oil. They're behind EV and electric, which that should be the future. But I also, if the futures market all of a sudden got a shock via news, and the administration said, we're going to, for example, we're going to allow the Keystone Pipeline. Even though that wouldn't mean barrels of oil till down the road, it will still affect the future price of oil, which will drive the prices down.
At the time we are recording this newscast, the average price for regular unleaded gas in the town of Norwood is $5.05 a gallon. And now we're going to toss it over to Mike Maloof with this special sports report.
Just say we'll start off with the coaching staff, and John Duffy Doherty, a Norwood legend in the 70s and 80s at Norwood High School. I had the good fortune to play for Duffy as well as two of my brothers who happened to be on two of the Super Bowl teams, and Duffy is the only coach that I believe has 2 Super Bowl championships while his time here at Norwood. His 1980 team was ranked 8th in the country and was just an incredible group of athletes, and really he just brought the Norwood football program up big time in the 70s and 80s. And then with going in with Duffy, it's almost, people would think of it as a tag team or a duo, Jack Martinelli. You know, Jack Martinelli was also part of the success of the Norwood football during the 70s and 80s. You know, I had the fortune of talking to Roy Johan, who was a football coach at Needham during the time that Norwood was at their heyday. And he said that the Duffy Doherty, Jack Martinelli duo of coaches was the best in the state. He said they just worked so well. Duffy ran the offense, Jack ran the defense, and they were really just a powerhouse. So the two of them were going together. But one of the exciting things, and a lot of people didn't realize unless they had the opportunity to run track for Jack Martinelli. Jack Martinelli, over his 14 years, was just incredible. You know, we looked at some of his results. During a 9-year streak, his record was 60-6. You know, he had 5 Bay State League titles. A number of his athletes went on to state championships. So, you know, he's known for a lot of the older guys my age about his football prowess, but is really as much about his track ability. So, really excited about the 2 coaches going in this year. Yeah, and here's a good one. Tom Smells from the class of 1965, a hockey player for the Mustangs. 3 years, 2-time Bay State Conference All-Star, Herald All-Scholastic. Tom had an outstanding career, went on to play at Norwich, where he had a record 70 saves in one game, which is pretty impressive. Tom came back to Norwood where he taught, and he also coached cross country and track, and was the first one to start the women's hockey program when it was a funded program. So Tom will be going in. And next from the class of 79, Steve Salvatore. Steve was part of the Duffy Martinelli era, outstanding secondary player on the defense. From the class of 78 on the Super Bowl team, Bay State Conference All-Star, multi-sport athlete, captain of track, where he was, his speed, needless to say, helped him in the backfield. Steve went on to play Division I at the University of Colorado under the old Chuck Fairbanks, the old coach of the Patriots. So, you know, he was quite an athlete. Again, Division I athlete coming out of Norwood. Unfortunately, Steve passed much too early from MS, and you know, he'll be being inducted posthumously. Then we got 2 guys from the class of 86. First one, Kevin Keegan. Kevin was a football and a wrestler, and wrestling where he really showed his talent. He was a 3-time sectional champ, 2nd in the state, 3rd in the state. And what really sticks out is, as a guy who wrestled myself, knowing he lost, took a 2nd place in the states his senior year, but went on to wrestle the next week at the New Englands and won the New Englands. Wow. So that's a pretty impressive thing to do. Yep. You know, his high school record was 91-9, so he was the real deal for sure. Also from the class of 86, Bobby Goonan. Bobby was a 2-sport athlete, captain of the basketball team, Also baseball, two-time Bay State Conference All-Star, Global Scholastic. Had an outstanding career with the Mustangs, and then went on to continue his baseball career at URI. So really quite a baseball player. Then we move up into the 90s. Another great NHS baseball player, Stevie Grinham. Stevie's class act, Bay State League Global Scholastic, Herald All Scholastic, captain of the golf and basketball team. Went on to play 4 years at Brandeis, and we have a third baseball player joining them from the class of 2003, and that would be Andy McNulty. And Andy was lights out as a pitcher. He was the Bay State Conference MVP, Global Scholastic, Herald All Scholastic, URI after Norwood. So those are three really solid baseball players, so kind of exciting to see that group coming in. Next is something that we haven't had in a while, which is we have three ladies coming from the same class. And, you know, it's pretty hard to get one Hall of Famer, one Globe Hall Scholastic, one Herald All Scholastic. We had three from the same class of 2011. You know, the first one was Lauren Duggan. Outstanding softball player, a pitcher, two-sport Globe and Herald All Scholastic. She had an amazing pitching record over her career at 67-4 here at Norwood High. And something that was very impressive also was she picked up track and field on the shot put late in the, I think it's possibly junior year, where she set the Norwood record and became a New England champ. Wow. Again, you know, the credentials speak for themselves. Went on to play softball at UConn. So, you know, Lauren Duggan. Next, Allie Malouf, outstanding hockey and softball player. And again, she was such a delight. And anybody who watched her in hockey and saw what she did was just, you know, spellbound by it, you know. But equally impressive with her hockey was her softball skill. Pitching with Lauren, I mean, the two of them had just an outstanding career for softball. What they did, I don't think you'll see a team like have two pitchers like that again. Just an outstanding softball player. Went on to University of Southern New Hampshire, where she led a stellar career there, set many records there as well. I believe she coached there for a year, helped out. And what's really impressive now is she's over with another Norwood High Hall of Famer, Tricia Brown at Stonehill, coaching the Stonehill softball team. So great to see, and really joy for me because I got a chance to watch these kids all 4 years. And then the third athlete out of this class, Corey Ryan. Boy, again, all three of these kids from this class were two-sport Globe and Herald All Scholastic. Corey was the same. She was from what I've seen over my many years involved, could well be the best female soccer player to come out of Norwood. Just an incredible athlete, great speed, and that speed in turn brought her over to the track team where she was a state champ and an all-state champ in the 200 and the 300. So again, Bay State Globe All Scholastic, Herald All Scholastic. She went on to 4 years of college down at Maryland on a scholarship. So you have three athletes from the same class that I don't know if you'll ever see that again. And you know, they all get in their first year of nomination, and that in itself is a tribute. But they were team athletes as well as individual athletes on their teams, and just incredible.
Congrats to all the athletes and coaches for being inducted into this year's NHS Hall of Fame class of 2022. We'll be right back with a recap of Norwood's first ever Juneteenth celebration and an update from the rec department. Welcome back. Last weekend, residents of Norwood and the country celebrated the newest federal holiday, Juneteenth. This year, for the first time ever, the Norwood Juneteenth Committee hosted an event on the town common to educate and celebrate the holiday. Sauda McLeod, a committee member, knows the importance of celebrating a holiday like this on a local level.
I think it's really important to recognize these type of holidays on a local event because you really get to touch people individually. You really get to bring the people from the town and have them share their stories in a way that you might not hear in another place. And it's really important to celebrate Juneteenth because it was a holiday that wasn't really recognized. It didn't get all of its stars. So the history behind it a little bit is that when the Emancipation Proclamation freed slaves from bondage, the word didn't reach the South until June 19th. And it only just now, last year, on Sunday tomorrow, became a federal reserved holiday. So it's really important to bring that to the community on a local level so that everyone can kind of experience the feel of Freedom Day, and we should have had it all along.
There were many activities planned during this first ever celebration. Artists of all ages, including the high school Magicals, performed songs, residents spoke to the crowd about the meaning of the holiday, and there were dance teams teaching and performing for the crowds. Tanya Nichols, founder of Imperfectly Perfected Dance Troupe, was thrilled to be part of Norwood's first ever celebration.
This is a Juneteenth celebration, the first annual celebration for Norwood, so it was very important for us to be a part of it. So when we got the invite, of course we came on out. No questions asked. You know, everything going on with the racial issues and things like that, just to see so many different people of different races and cultures just come together with one goal, and it's to celebrate each other. It's very important.
To learn more about future celebrations, follow Norwood Juneteenth on social media. Recreation Superintendent Travis Farley is excited to announce the reopening of the playground at Murphy Field. The playground area went through some renovations earlier in the year and is now ready to play on.
Hi Norwood, Travis Farley here, the Norwood Recreation Department Superintendent. We're here today at beautiful Murphy Field at the corner of Lennox Street and Pleasant Street. We're here to let everybody know that Murphy Playground just went through a major overhaul. We just put in poured rubber at the playground, making it the second playground in Norwood, public playground that is poured rubber. We're very excited about this surface. It makes it far more accessible for our residents, which is something we make more of an effort to do as a department. It's one of 8 playgrounds that we partner with the DPW and manage in town. So obviously, Norwood has a variety and a lot of playgrounds that we have in town, and we're very excited this one got the overhaul. So if you get a chance to check it out on a beautiful day at the corner of Lennox Street and Pleasant Street, Murphy Playground is now open to the public, and we hope you have a chance to check it out.
After playing on the new playground equipment, Superintendent Farley recommends taking a dip at one of Norwood's 2 public pools.
We are very excited to announce that both Father Max pools and Haas pools are going to be opening at full capacity, regular summer for us. This is the first summer in 3 years. We're going to have both pools open at full capacity. Pools are going to be open on Saturday, June 25th, starting at noon. We are going to be selling season passes at both pools from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday. This is for this weekend only. After that, if you need to get a pool season pass for both pools, please come to the Civic Center. We will be selling day passes at both pools, so if you don't have a season pass, it's not a big deal. You can come check out the pools. We're very excited. We're actually going to be offering swimming lessons starting on Monday. We have some aqua fitness classes that are starting. We're very excited that the youth swim club is starting back up. Just a gentle reminder with that Haas Pool will be closing at 5 p.m. on Tuesdays for their swim meets. So we're very excited, Norwood. We hope you have a chance to come check out both Haas Pool with its full swimming pool and spray park and brand new bathhouse 3 years ago, and Father Max Pool. So if you have a chance to come check it out, we hope you enjoy the pools this summer, Norwood.
Thanks, Travis and the Recreation Department, for all the programs and services you offer to the residents of Norwood all year long. The Norwood Farmers Market is back after a 2-year break. Chairman of the Sustainability Commission, Peter McFarland, hosted the celebratory ribbon-cutting ceremony and is excited to be back on the town common for the summertime.
The Farmers Market is an initiative of the Norwood Sustainability Commission, where our goal was to help get people to eat healthy, eat local, and to build community. So we have farmers here, seafood vendor, and bakers, and we also have community nonprofits. We have Norwood Trails, and the Sustainability Commission has a table. Ponce River Watershed Conservation Commission. We have some artisans from the Norwood Cultural Council has got vendors coming in. We have also local business, Emerald City's plant shop, and some more. So as far as that goes, we're, if you have a cause you want to, or a business you want to, see if you come down to and sell it here at the market.
The Farmers Market is on the Town Common every Tuesday from 2 to 6 p.m. For additional information, check out the town's website. And now we're going to toss it over to Zaina Najjar with school news.
Hi guys, I'm Zaina Najjar, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. This was the last week of school, and the schools have been very busy with their end-of-year activities. The Callahan School graduated their 5th graders last week and this week. The remaining elementary schools held their ceremonies. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the tears bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the tears bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain, when I know you did it forever, and everything would stay the same. Now my heart feels like December when somebody say your name. 'Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Hey, hey. And everything will be alright. No one is rest and say, hey, cheers to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the cheers bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the cheers bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. Do 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 memories bring back you.
The Coakley School held their 8th grade graduations this week, and the blue, gold, and green teams received their certificates. Let's take a quick look.
Middle school is one of the hardest times of your life. You are growing physically and emotionally. You are consistently asked to be responsible young adults, while at the same time being told you're just a kid. And you went through this and a global pandemic at the same time. You faced challenges head on, overcame odds, and now you find yourself poised at the edge of your future. And I tell you, you are ready. You have developed independence, engaged in critical self-reflection, and started to work towards improving your own community in many ways. You have a front seat to a new and exciting future, one that you will help bring into existence. Many of these students received awards for accomplishments they have reached over the course of the year. However, these students have accomplished so many things that cannot be noted on an individual award. They have maneuvered through multiple stages of a pandemic, figured out a little bit about who they are and who they want to be, and continued to be supportive of one another throughout. Each of you have earned recognition in your own right for the many parts of growing up that we don't always see and we rarely showcase. So to each and every one of you, congratulations on a job well done. You have survived middle school.
The Little Mustangs ended the year with some fun theme days that incorporated lots of multi-sensory learning opportunities. On camping day, they read books in tents and followed a sequence of pictures to make s'mores to enjoy at snack time. On Pirate Day, lots of pirates came to the school and had fun finding clues around LMPA to find hidden treasures. On Ocean Day, the boys and girls used magic sand with shells to create some cool sculptures. The water table was also filled with under-the-sea creatures for the children to play with. There were even dolphin rides around LMPA. The boys and girls had lots of fun pretending to be under the sea and going through the ocean bubbles. All the classes ended the year with a certificate presentation for the parents to celebrate this big milestone. For many children, this year marked the first time in their little lives to interact with others outside their homes. The little Mustangs who are heading off to kindergarten got to leave their special mark on the walls of the entryway alongside of all the other LMPA graduates. It has been a challenging couple of years for these little friends as most of their life has been spent living in a pandemic. The teachers are so proud of all the growth they have made and look forward to seeing them on future episodes of the Norwood School News as they move on through the years. Well, that's it for school news, and this will be our last newscast until September. School News producer Jack Tolman and I would like to thank the staff for contributing the news items all year long. We hope that we have provided you with some interesting news and that you have learned about our school department. To all the great staff and students, have a great summer, and we'll see you in September.
The Norwood Police Department, in conjunction with the Norwood Post Office, hosted a fraud prevention event at the Norwood Senior Center earlier this week. Norwood seniors learned how they can stay safe and not be taken advantage of with phone and internet scams, as well as scams by mail.
And we are here today to have a panel discussion on senior scams and some fraud that we're seeing happening a lot lately. So we have Norwood Bank, we have the United States Post Office, and we have Chief Brooks here to really just educate and let the seniors know what's happening right in their own backyard as far as scams.
To watch the full show, tune into the NCM Community Channel. Have you ever wondered what it takes for drag performers to transform into character? The Morrill Memorial Library hosted drag performers Lou DeFlias Priestley and Ivana for a behind the makeup experience where kids and parents can ask questions and learn about the process. Performer Lou DeFlias Priestley shares more about the creative process.
And today we sat and did our makeup in front of a group of folks, and we just engaged in dialogue about drag, about the queer community, about makeup, and about other social issues. I think it's important just to engage in these conversations with the queer community as well as people that don't identify in the queer community, just to kind of blur these lines that keep us hindered, and while learning about something as fun as drag that brings people together. Most people use makeup or are aware of makeup, and they probably have never seen a drag queen or drag king put their makeup on before, so it's just kind of a fun experience for them as well. If you are interested in doing drag, just try it out in your home, have no fear. Look up on YouTube, look up on TikTok and Facebook. There's a whole huge community. You are not alone, and just be you.
The library is an excellent resource to learn more about Pride Month and the drag community in general. For additional details, visit the library's website. This past Wednesday, Norwood's 150th birthday celebration continued at Memorial Hall inside Town Hall. Looking at our proud history displayed Norwood's notable records of people, places, and things. Norfolk County Register of Deeds and organizer of the event, William O'Donnell, has more.
Hi, we're here, Town of Norwood, 150th Anniversary Committee event. It's Norwood Notable Records, People, Places, and Properties. What we've done is we've tried to tie some of the records at the Norfolk Registry of Deeds to certain people and places that really represent all of Norwood and make Norwood such a special place. The Colonial Boys are behind us. They've been playing, and we're lucky enough to have Trooper Dan Clark, the singing trooper here. But really the stories, Norwood's such a great place, a vibrant community, and the storyboards really represent just what makes Norwood great, the neighborhoods, some of the places around town, and certainly the people. And the people in the storyboards, I think, represent all kinds of aspects and the characteristics of Norwood. So it's another great event by the 150th Town Anniversary Committee, and we're glad to be part of here in my hometown of Norwood, and glad to be celebrating Norwood's 150th.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.